Chlorination is the application of chlorine gas to latex. The chlorine permanently bonds to the latex to create a dry surface that is silky smooth and slides against your skin and other materials effortlessly. Creating chlorine gas is easy to do with a couple of common chemicals that you can obtain from your local hardware store. Bleach and hydrochloric acid combine to create chlorine gas and salt water. Unchlorinated latex is very sticky and grippy and requires the use of lubrication or talcum powder. Chlorinated latex, on the other hand, is as slippery as silk, making it far easier to put on than when using lube. There are pros and cons to chlorinating latex. Chlorinated latex requires no lube, so it remains dry, and it is as soft as silk. It is actually slipperier than using lube. The cons are that it is about 10% less stretchy, it is not as shiny, but it will shine up nicely with polish, and it is more difficult to repair because the chlorination must be sanded off before glue can be applied. Before you begin, make sure you thoroughly clean the latex from any lubrications or contaminants that could hinder the chlorination process. A degreaser such as Dawn dishwashing liquid works well. Latex that sticks to itself is a good sign that it is ready for chlorination. Chlorination is a fairly simple procedure, but the chlorine gas used for the process can be lethal if inhaled. Do not attempt this process unless you are outdoors, away from people and animals, and have a chlorine-rated gas mask with brand new filters. If the wind is blowing, notice what is downwind. Chlorine gas can travel long distances. Make sure your neighbor's windows are not open. If there is no wind blowing, use a box fan to blow the gas away from your work area. Before you begin, you will need safety goggles, heavy-duty rubber gloves, and a gas mask with brand new filters rated for chlorine gas. After opening the chlorine-rated filters for your gas mask, it is important to write today's date on the filter because they are only good for 1 month after opening, and this is not something you want to risk. The filters also have a color-changing sticker on their side that changes color after it is exposed to chlorine. Read the directions that come with the filters and make sure you discard the filters after 1 month or after the sticker changes color. You will need 3 buckets, one of which should have volume markings so that you can easily measure the correct amount of water needed for the reaction. You will need pure household bleach without any additives, and hydrochloric acid, which sells under the name muriatic acid or salt spirits. Both of these can be purchased by the gallon at a hardware store for around $5. Some measuring spoons for measuring out the 120 milliliters and 20 milliliters of bleach and hydrochloric acid will be used for this demonstration. Bleach is typically sold as 5%, and hydrochloric acid is typically 32%. This gives a mix ratio of 5 milliliters of hydrochloric acid to 30 milliliters of bleach in 1 liter of water. Everything you'll need can be purchased for under $100. Everything can be purchased at a local hardware store except for the gas mask. These can be purchased from Amazon.com. You should wear shoes, long pants, and long sleeves to protect your skin. To start, notice how much wind there is and set up a box fan if necessary. Fill 2 buckets full of water, and in the 3rd bucket we will fill with 4 liters of water since we will be chlorinating a large catsuit in this demonstration. Before starting the reaction, test your gas mask to make sure it is airtight by placing your hands over the filters. You should not be able to inhale if the mask is sealed properly. Since we are using 4 liters of water, we will first add 120 milliliters of bleach to the water. Before opening the hydrochloric acid, we will put on our gloves. Hydrochloric acid will burn right through just about anything it touches, including your skin. Add 20 milliliters of hydrochloric acid to start the reaction. Add the latex immediately. The majority of the reaction will only last about 1.5 minutes. Stir the latex to make sure the chlorine gas reaches all surfaces, and avoid getting your face directly over the bucket. After 1.5 minutes, we will turn the catsuit inside out and repeat the reaction again for the inside of the suit. For smaller garments, just one reaction may be enough time to do the inside and the outside. Using the same 4 liters of water, we will add the 120 milliliters of bleach again, and then the 20 milliliters of hydrochloric acid to start the second reaction. Stir thoroughly and make sure no latex is sticking together, because these areas may not get chlorination if they do. Don't worry if spots get missed. You can always chlorinate again. There is no such thing as too much chlorination, because there are a finite number of receptor sites on the latex that the chlorine will bond with. Once these sites are full, no more additional chlorine will bond. After a minute and a half, the majority of the reaction has occurred. You can leave it in for a few more minutes, but after a few minutes you should pull the garment out and put it into the second bucket filled with fresh water. This will stop the reaction. Leave it in for a few minutes, and then turn the outfit inside out and put it back in for a few more minutes. After this, take it out and place it into the last bucket filled with fresh water. This will rinse any remaining chlorine. Leave it in this bucket for 30 minutes. After you take it out of the last bucket, the outfit will be ready to dry. Hang it in a cool place out of sunlight with good ventilation for a few hours. After it has dried for a few hours, it is ready to wear. Fill the rest of the reaction bucket with fresh water to dilute and set this bucket aside for at least half an hour. After this time, only salt water will remain and you may dump the bucket safely down the drain. You may find that after a year or so, some chlorination may rub off in spots due to wear. You can follow this procedure again and it will be as good as new. If your garment ever tears, it is recommended to use a Dremel tool with fine-grained sanding bit set to the low-speed setting to sand the area that will be glued. Glue will not stick to the chlorinated areas. Thanks for watching and happy chlorinating, but be safe.